In this tutorial, we're going to look at how you can bring your environments to life by having sounds that actually move around the player. This is useful in stereo, even more effective if your player is listening back on 5.1. So we're going to use a new actor, the ambient sound movable, and there it is. And you can see this is shown with a green icon. And we're going to add, this is slightly nighttime, spooky-ish area, we're going to add some sort of bird calls to that sound. So we've got our package selected, we're going to import some sounds from the sound library, and we're just going to grab a few of these nighttime bird calls. Okay to all. Right, I'm going to build a sound cue that's going to randomly play back those bird calls. So I'll call it night bird 1. If I select all of those, I can just immediately add them all pre-connected to a random node, which is quite useful. I'm going to add an attenuation so we can control how they sound over distance. I'm going to modulate their pitch and volume every time they're played. So pitch, not so much, but sometimes they're very quiet, sometimes they're a bit louder. And then I'm going to add a looping node and a delay, so they happen at random time intervals. And I'm going to say, okay, not more frequently than a second, but sometimes maybe we wait up to 3 seconds to hear it. That might be a bit over the top in terms of the final ambience, but just for the moment, let's keep those values at that, and we'll save that package. Now, you'll find when you put in any kind of one-shot sounds that they're going to sound very odd unless they're against a kind of background bed of sound. So let's just get some wind going on in our level. So we'll select that and we'll just have an ambient sound simple with a wind. And straight away I'm going to turn off spatialize that because I don't want my wind to sound like it's coming from a specific point in the game. And then there's my ambient sound movable. So I can select the sound cue I just created there, go into the ambient sound movables properties and add that to there. Now let's play the level. Okay, so we have our bird calls and our wind ambience, but we want those birds to move around. So just like we did with the doors previously, we're going to use the matinee function. Just going to do that selected. Okay, new matinee. Now this matinee is going to start when the level starts. I want it to start straight away. So the level, when it's finished loading, creates an event, and that's going to play the matinee. And the matinee this time is going to loop. So I'm going to check the looping flag. Right, new empty group. And again, it's going to be a movement track. So there's my point of origin, and by the time I get to 2 seconds, I want it to start moving around. So I'll just find it in the top down view. So let's move it over here, and you can see, you know if matinee is working because you see this line, and if we do that we can actually see how that sound's going to move through space. And let's do another one over here, and again move it. We're going to extend it to be a bit longer. Nope, I want you. Keep clicking the wrong thing. There we go, thank you. Add another point in there. So it's going to kind of drift round in a broad circle. Let's have a look at another point here. Now we can always change the speed of the matinee later, so if we feel this is too fast or too slow, we can change the overall speed of it. And then I'm going to bring it back round to kind of where it belongs and where it started. Right, so let's play back that matinee and just track that movement. So when that sound's playing, we'll get the impression of either that there's a few birds and they're in different places, or that we're hearing a bird and it's actually moving through space. So let's play the game. If you're listening in 5.1, as the bird calls, you should be able to hear them moving around. I can hear in stereo them panning left and right. And obviously, it's a bit too frequent and perhaps a little bit too predictable, but you can see the potential here for setting up environments that really feel alive with movement.